Hi, I'm Chris of Krissy's Over the Mountain Crochet and Crafts. It's good to have you on my side of the mountain. Let me show you how to make this Peekaboo Ridge Chemo Cap made out of Lion Brand Coboo yarn, and I'm using a G 4mm crochet hook. Let's get started. The Peekaboo Ridge is called the Peekaboo Ridge because of this little sequence of stitches. I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to make this a simple single crochet beanie look just a little bit fancy and have a little bit of airflow for those who are dealing with chemo or alopecia and have lost their hair. I like to use Lion Brand Coboo yarn. It's a 3-weight. It is 51% cotton, 49% rayon. I've been informed that if you wash this, do not put it in the dryer. I'm using pale pink today. Let's get started. I am making a large, extra large, so I will make a slip knot, chain 3, and join in a ring. Chain 1 and then 8 single crochets in the ring. I'm using a Susan Bates G crochet hook. Let me get those 8 single crochets in this ring, and I'll meet you at the end of that ring. By the way, I crochet over this yarn tail. So let me get to the end of the round. I have 1, 2, 3. Let me get going. Okay, so we have 8 stitches in the ring. I'm going to just bypass the chain 1. Chain 1s do not count as a stitch, and insert my hook under the top 2 loops. I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the top of that first single crochet. And there we have it. All right, so chain 1. Now I'm going to execute 2 single crochets in the joining stitch and in each stitch around. And when I am at the end of round 2, I will have 16 single crochet stitches, and I will join with a slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet. Let me speed up the camera and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Let's count the stitches. We should have 16. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 stitches. Okay, so let's join with a slip stitch in the top of that first single crochet by inserting your hook under those top 2 loops and joining with a slip stitch. Chain 1. Now it's 1 single crochet in the joining stitch and 2 single crochets right there. It looks like you're going between 2 single crochets. This is the point of your increase. So 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets. Okay, so this is round 3. Let me go over that repeat again. 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets right here in this space that looks like it is splitting between those 2 single crochets. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets all the way around, and at the end of round 8 you will have 24 stitches. Let me get to the end of the round and I'll join you. Okay, so I am at the end of round 3 and I have 24 stitches. I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that first single crochet that was made right under those 2 top loops. Join with a slip stitch, chain 1, single crochet in the joining stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and 2 single crochets right there. 1, 2. Let me show you how that works. And I'll do that again. So it's 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochets. Now at the end of round 4, you will have 32 stitches. we are adding 8 stitches to 24. Let me repeat that. Let me go over that repeat with you again. So it's single crochet, 2 single crochets, single crochet, 2 single crochets, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. I am at the end of round 4, and round 4 has 32 stitches. 4 times 8, we started out with 8 single crochets. 4 times 8 is 32. So now I'm going to join to the top of that first single crochet that was made, chain 1 just as before, and 1 single crochet in that joining stitch, in the next stitch, and in this next stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, now 2 single crochets right here. So something that will help you keep track is this repeat includes 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's this repeat. 5 times 8 is 40. So at the end of this round, we'll have 40 stitches. I'll meet you at the end of the round, but first let me go over the repeat again. It's single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, 2 single crochets, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Okay, I'm at the end of round 5. In round 5, we were working with a 5-stitch repeat, and 5 times 8 is 40, so we have 40 stitches in this round. Now let's join with a slip stitch, just as before, under those top 2 chains. Sometimes that can be a little fiddly. Just be patient. Under the top 2 chains, 2 loops rather, under the top 2 loops, join with a slip stitch, chain 1, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochets. So this repeat includes 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 8 is 48. So when we are at the end of round 6, we will have 48 stitches. Now, let me show you that repeat again. Then I'll go off camera and finish. So it's 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets all the way around. And then when we are at the end of round 6, we will have 48 stitches. I'll meet you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 6, and I have 48 stitches. 6 times 8 is 48. I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the top of that first single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in that first joining stitch, single crochet in the next 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 stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 2 single crochets in this next stitch. 6, 7. So that's 7 stitches. 7 times 8 is 56. So let's go over this repeat again. You're seeing a pattern here, I hope. 1 single crochet, 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 and 2 single crochets. We'll do that all the way around. At the end of round 7, we will have 56 stitches. I'll meet you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 7. 7 times 8 is 56. So now I'm moving on to round 8. Round 8 goes like this. Join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet made under those top 2 loops. Chain 1, single crochet, this is round 8, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, that should be 6. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2 single crochets right here. 1, 2. 8 times 8 is 64. When we get to the end of this round, we will have 64 stitches. Let me go over the repeat again with you. Single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and 2 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 8, 8 stitches in round 8. 8 times 8 is 64. We'll have 64 stitches at the end of this round, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Okay, I'm at the end of round 8, and I have 64 stitches. I will work in this same repeat and increase pattern that I have been working in, and that you have been working in with me, I hope. So join with a slip stitch to the top of the next single crochet. We just finished round 8. We're working on round 9. So it's single crochet in the next stitch 7 times. And then 2 single crochets in that next stitch. Let's see if that's what I did. Let's count the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, 9 times 8 is 72. We'll have 72 stitches at the end of this round. And we have a single crochet. This is the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 single crochets. So it's single crochet, 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 2 single crochets. All the way around. I'll meet you at the end of the round, and we will have 72 stitches. Okay, I'm at the end of round 9. 9 stitches was within that sequence. 9 times 8 is 72. I'm moving on to round 10. 8 times 10 is 80. At the end of this round, we'll have 80 stitches. So let's begin by joining in the top of that single crochet with a slip stitch. So this is the beginning of round 10. Chain 1, single crochet, 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 single crochet. That should be 8 single crochets. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it is. Now, 2 single crochets right here. So let's get those 2 single crochets in. That gave us 10 stitches. 8 plus 2 is 10, so 10 times 8 is 80. This next round will have 80 stitches. I'll meet you at the end of the round. Okay, we are at the end of round 10. We have 80 stitches. Now I want to point out that normally I don't put 8 single crochet stitches in a ring. Normally it's 7 single crochet stitches in a ring, and there is just a slight little ripple, but that's okay. I would not go above 8 stitches. So I used 8 to get the amount of stitches that I wanted for the size of hat that I wanted. So now let's move on to round 11. Round 11 is join with a slip stitch in the top of the single crochet in that joining stitch, single crochet, 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 single crochet. Now let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 stitches here, 10, 11. So round 11 has 11 stitches that we are working on, and the base amount of stitches was 8. So we will have 88 stitches at the end of round 11. So let me go over the pattern again. These will be 1 single crochets in each of these stitches. So it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2. That makes 11 stitches. Let's execute that pattern all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. I am at the end of round 11. I have 88 stitches. Now I'm going to execute 1 single crochet in each stitch around for round 12 for a total of 88 stitches. Very simple. Join with a slip stitch, the first single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the joining stitch, and 1 single crochet in each stitch around. When we get to that increase, there is not 2 double crochets in that stitch. There is only going to be 1. We're going to execute 1 single crochet in each stitch around for round 12, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. I am at the end of round 12, and I really need to be at a 6 1/4 to 6 1/2 inches for the hat circumference. Obviously this will stretch. I found when using the Coboo yarn, the navy yarn gave me the best measurements. The pink yarn was just a little bit tight. I wanted to test that when I was doing the video to make sure, but I'm going to tear out round 12 and add 1 more increase round. This I hope will get me close to at least 6 1/4 to 6 1/2, so I will meet you at the end of round 13. Round 12 will have 1 more increase round, so I will increase right here and then add 1 more row of single crochets, and I'll come back and measure for you. I want to pop in here and show you the increase round, the extra increase round that I am making. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single crochets, and then 2 more, 2 in the next stitch. So we're working with a total of 12 stitches. So 12 times 8 is 96. I'll have 96 stitches. Now, the fact that I've changed the stitch count won't matter at all on this Peekaboo Ridge pattern. It will actually be just fine. And I'll meet you at the end of round 13, which will be after I've made 1 increase round for 96 stitches. Then I will make 1 round of single crochet stitches only for 96 stitches to get, and then we will measure. Okay. So I added that extra increase round, and I'm at 6 1/4 inches. Pretty happy with that, almost 6 1/2, but I'm happy with my measurement. This is where I need to be to fit a 23 to 24 inch head. And remember, folks with hair loss don't need, the hat will not seem as tight on them. The next 3 rounds will be the Peekaboo Ridge rounds. So after we join with a slip stitch, we chain 1, single crochet in the joining stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, skip that stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip the stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. And we execute this sequence all the way around. So I'll do that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. So we're at the end of the round. We have executed a chain 1, skipped a stitch, single crochet, chain 1, skipped a stitch, single crochet. Now we are at the end of the round. We need to chain 1 and join with a slip stitch to the beginning, single crochet. Now slip stitch into this chain 1 space. We've already slip stitched into the joining. We've already slip stitched into the joining stitch. Now we're going to slip stitch into this chain 1 space, chain 1, and single crochet in that chain 1 space. So now we need to skip this single crochet and single crochet in the next chain 1 space. But first we need to chain 1, skip that single crochet, and single crochet in the chain, single crochet in the chain 1 space. I grabbed one of the legs of that single crochet. All right, now chain 1, skip the single crochet, single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the single crochet, and single crochet in the next chain 1 space. There we have it. It's basically a moss stitch. We'll execute that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. We are at the end of the round. I have executed a single crochet in that last chain 1 space. Now I need to chain 1 to finish this round and slip stitch into the top of this single crochet. So now I'm going to chain 1, single crochet in the joining stitch, and I'm going to bypass this chain 1 space, and I'm going to execute a spike stitch in this chain 1 space that is 2 rows below. Remember, I have skipped this chain 1 space that is 2 rows below. I will catch that when I come back at the end of the round. So now I'm going to make my first spike single crochet, and we draw up generous loops. Now we're being careful that we don't cover this up. It might get covered up just a little bit, but you can move the yarn away. Pull those generous loops up generously and execute a single crochet. Now single crochet, whoops, in that single crochet that is right there beside that spike stitch. Now we execute a spike stitch in that next chain 1 space that is 2 rows below, pulling up the yarn loops to the height of that single crochet. You can be very generous with this. It looks nice if this is if these loops are generous, it looks nice. Now shove those the legs of that single crochet over just a little and single crochet in that single crochet. Now long spike stitch, trying to catch my yarn below, draw up generous loops, single crochet, and then a single crochet in that single crochet. Next chain 1 space gets a spike stitch, and the loops are generous, and a single crochet. Let me make one more spike stitch in the next chain 1 space that is 2 rows below, draw up those loops, and then make a single crochet. Let's look at this Peekaboo Ridge now and how nice that looks. I love the look of this Peekaboo Ridge. Let me execute that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end so that I can show you what to do with this chain 1 space that we skipped. Now I am at the end of the round. I am at the end of the 3rd round of the Peekaboo Ridge, and look how nice that is looking. So as you can see, I've executed a spike stitch in the last chain 1 on this side of the join. There is still this chain 1 space on the other side of the join that hasn't been used. We will use that. So I've executed a spike stitch and then single crochet in that last single crochet stitch. And since we joined with a slip stitch and moved over, we executed the first spike stitch beside this first chain 1 space. So we've skipped this chain 1 space, so we're going to use it now. And execute the last spike stitch and join with a slip stitch to that beginning single crochet. Isn't that a nice treatment? It's very easy. So we had 88 single crochet stitches right here, and we have 88 stitches in the 3rd round of the Peekaboo Ridge. And now we chain 1 single crochet in each stitch around. This is very straightforward. We will do this for 5 rounds, just 5 rounds of single crochet stitches. So 5 rounds of single crochet, execute the Peekaboo Ridge, 5 rounds of single crochet, execute the Peekaboo Ridge, 5 rounds of single crochet, then we start the back post, front post ribbed edging. Let me make a few rounds of this single crochet stitch, and then I will show you how to make the half double crochet ribbed edge to this beanie. I'll be right back. So now I'd like to show you how to do the front post and back post half double crochet stitch where you alternate it and it makes a ribbed edging. I don't have 5 single crochet rows there, but you can still see what happens. So here's how this is executed. You chain 1 and execute a front post half double crochet. So a half double crochet is yarn over, pull through all 3. So I just did that around the front post of that single crochet. Now the next one is back post. I'm going in from the front, around that single crochet, going to the back, bringing that yarn all the way through to the back, all the way through to the back, 3 loops on the hook, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. The next one is a front post, half double crochet, 3 loops on the hook, pull through all 3. The next one is back post, 3 loops on the hook, go through all 3. The next one is a front. So you can see a little bit of a ridge, ribbing forming, but we need 3 rounds of this. Let me get to this side here and I'll show you how to join and how to build up and do the next round. Okay, I am at the end of the round on the back post, front post, half double crochet stitch. I started with a front post. I need to end with a back post, which is good because right here's the front post. This is the last stitch. So back post, half double crochet, join with a slip stitch. I'm going to bypass this chain 1. I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the top of that front post, half double crochet, chain 1, and I'm going to execute a front post, half double crochet, whoops, and I'm going to execute a front post, half double crochet around the previous front post, half double crochet. Now this one is a back post, so I will execute a back post, half double crochet, now a front post, half double crochet, now a back post, half double crochet, front post, back post. These are a little easier because you have more of a post to work with, but you can see it's starting to make a ribbing. All right, I'll execute that all the way around and meet you at the join. I am at the end of the second round of back post, front post, half double crochets. Look how nice that is looking. I've just executed a front post. Now I need to make the last back post, half double crochet, and join with a slip stitch to the top of this front post, half double crochet, getting underneath those 2 loops, top 2 loops. Now I'm going to chain 1, and this is the last row of ribbing. Of course, you can add more rows of ribbing if you would like, but it's front post, back post, front post, back post. And look how nice that looks. All right, there you have it. We'll continue that all the way around and join just as before, and you have finished a Peekaboo Ridge beanie. Now the complete pattern is on my website, Crissy'sOverTheMountainCrochet.com. This is what you will end up with, is a hat that has the crown, Peekaboo Ridge, 5 rounds of single crochet, Peekaboo Ridge, 5 rounds of single crochet, Peekaboo Ridge, 5 rounds of single crochet, and then 3 rounds front post, back post, half double crochet stitches, and then I sewed a little tag that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. It's not scratchy. I like it's soft. I like the way it feels. Well, it was so good to have you on my side of the mountain. I hope you'll come again soon. I hope you'll look for other chemo caps on my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, and I'll be showing how to do the Peekaboo Ridge stitch in the flat very soon.